start?
I don't remember anything.
I'll remind you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Howdy, hello. Okay, is the YouTube stream on? There it goes.
Live already? Yeah.
There we go. All right. Well, I think we can get started then. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Howdy, everybody. Welcome to our 24th weekly update. Thank you for being here. As is traditional, we'll have a few presentations and then we'll go to several rounds of Q&A. We have a few important things to cover today, so I'll get started. I'll be short. First, the big news, obviously. We officially have 10 new partnerships, which brings us to a total of 12 for the network. They were added last week. So this marks a tremendous milestone. Obviously, these are all major use cases and the benefits are immeasurable. We also have 3 new sub-governances: esports, developer experience, and SMM, social media marketing. The total amount of tokens that were distributed, get ready, 19,653,874 and change. So amazing. This is excellent news. Congratulations to everyone. We did have a few technical issues with the DGO and the ambassador subgovernances, but to my knowledge, that's resolved. So there will be another smaller distribution coming soon. So we're definitely growing and growing. Great things are happening. Okay, moving on. I want to briefly touch on a few suggestions for further partnerships and contest proposals. There will be a short guide to help make partnership proposals better. It'll have helpful hints that's being worked on right now. So we should have something hopefully in the next few days or so, but just as a basic set of principles. First, there should always be an overall cap on the amount of tokens. Obviously, if the deliverables are met within whatever time frame the proposal says and the community sees all the benefits, then another proposal can be drawn up and we can put it to a vote to prolong the partnership, no problem. Second, only upfront tokens should be for things like integration costs, which, by the way, should be reasonable and on par with fiat costs. Now, some small portion of the expenses can potentially be transferred up front, but the rest needs to be in some kind of a vesting schedule. So for instance, if a potential partner has a 12-month project they're proposing, we can cover the integration costs plus, say, the first of the 12-month vesting installments. And that should pretty much be it, at least until the first KPIs are delivered. Everything else should be distributed against those KPIs. So deliverable met, tokens go out. This is the right way to do it. Now, obviously, there can be some extraordinary circumstance. For instance, if Facebook or WeChat comes to us today and says, hey, we want to integrate with free TON, give us a boatload of tokens. Okay, right. Obviously, we're not going to be idiots about it. But as far as typical use cases go, essentially this whole thing with the whole truckload of tokens up front, it just has to go, okay? Which, by the way, I have to say that the 10 new partnerships that were passed look a whole lot better. So there's some precedent there, okay? Also, when it comes to sub-governances and partnership proposals, from now on, the wallet for receiving tokens has to be a multi-sig, and it needs to be provided before a vote takes place. So in other words, that information needs to be in the proposal, and that's just going to help eliminate a whole big issue of scrambling at the last minute to get tokens out, which we went through. So that's what happened to DGO and ambassadors. Anyway, okay, that's pretty much it for me. Right now, what we're going to talk about is jury voting. And usually I would lead that discussion, but Mita wanted to bring up some points and put it all into a sort of governance 2.0 context. So that's what I was talking to you about, Mita. If you're ready, you can talk about that and then make your announcements.
No, I'm not so much ready to talk about governance to zero. I mean, the governance to zero is um, is ready in terms of to go to the proposal, from the proposal to the it's like taking shape, and it's, I think, goes very nicely. I do think that we need to move there really quickly. But because of what I will talk to you about now, I wasn't really preparing to talk about that.
Well, I think it was about voting. You mentioned you wanted to say something about voting.
Yeah, let's do that other time.
Okay.
For two reasons. One is not so good, another is great, which I want to just mention. So there was an event inside TON Labs infrastructure over within last couple of days, and we have accidentally, well, I will explain later. We have accidentally sent several validator messages without a payload, which means basically that we have distributed to the current validators about 2 million tokens in total from our stakes. This accident happened because of several reasons. We have tested certain things, and during this testing, which was not related exactly to the scripts that we are running, but in the end, the like in combination of problems in C++ node and restarting of those nodes because of known issues with memory, and combination of the things that we did with our scripts, the messages that validators passed has been the payload of the messages has been destroyed in the transmission, and our checks of that was not there. And that can happen to everyone, and therefore we will publish a postmortem about that. So you can, it's only relates to a light client. When you're using light client, it does not relate when you use TONOS CLI and our infrastructure. It also only relates to C++ node behavior, and it only relates to Elector contract in which we currently use in the network, which is a Funk contract, which has I would say a design flow which already has been pointed out. And this design flow is that if you send any wrong message to it, it will just eat up your tokens and distribute it to concurrent validators. So everyone can send some tokens to Elector, and it will be just get distributed. We have requests from the validators to change the Elector contract, and I will touch upon this subject. So so staying on this, again, we have written a postmortem. We're now calculating exactly the how and what was distributed to which validators, and we will ask kindly the validators to, if possible, return us whatever you think is worth returning us, as it was an honest mistake. But again, that's obviously up to you. And again, we're sorry for the accident, not that it affected anyone except ourselves. But well, it's now it's up to you basically to do whatever you want. But we will nevertheless publish the more postmortem and how this happened, and we also will publish tools into TONOS CLI special tools in open source, so that it won't happen to you. And you can use these tools to check the exact message that you want to confirm with a second or whatever multi-sig signature that you use. So these are the on this subject. So now Elector contract has been rewritten. We have wrote a new Elector contract using Solidity, and but this contract and this contract has several things in it, which is first of all, it won't it won't take any messages, unintended messages or simple transfers sent to it. It will return this. So that thing would never happen with the new Elector contract. It also has a special mechanism for dynamic slashing conditions implemented already. And this contract is more or less done. It's in testing this week, but it will take time because we need to formally verify this contract, obviously. So we will still need to live with the old Elector for quite some time. And therefore, of course, the tools that we will gonna publish soon, and this postmortem will probably help everyone anyway. So so this this is about this accident. Now, for the good news, apart from Elector contract, we have finished the development of Rust validator node, and now it's went into the next stage. Two things will happen. First, we are going now to start debugging problems that we had in the network, we have identified in the network, which we didn't want to fix in the C++ node. So these things are going to be fixed in Rust node first, checked, and then only then it will be a contest to fix this issues in C++ node. Now, so we want to run for a few days heavy load tests and stuff like that on the Rust node with the known data sets of previous problems we had with the networks. We have a lot of these data sets. We even have a whole network which stalled, waiting for, like we're just waiting. The network is waiting to be kind of picked up with Rust nodes, and so we can debug it. Probably there will be an open source of the validator node, probably in the next 10 days to 2 weeks time frame, and there will be a contest, of course, about Rust validator node for the validators, starting somewhere in the second, like by the end of October. So I think I'm done. And because of all that, I didn't really think too much about the voting. Sorry.
I understand. Well, we can leave voting for next time. Okay. Pavel, I think we have Min on the call who wanted to ask something, right? Oh, we got a hand raised. Alex.
Alex, Mitya, could you tell us, please, when are you going to publish the source of the new Elector contract?
Good question. We want to, we will definitely organize a contest about that, like bug bounty, stuff like that. So after our internal tests are finished, probably, I don't know, a couple of weeks maybe.
But it will be before it will be used for mainnet, right?
Oh, of course. It will be long before, because again, as I said, it will be formally verified, and the formal verification. Prevent the team is now working, of course, on the formal verification of the pools, and that will take at least a month to finalize all that work, and only then they will be able to start. So it's it's a process. It won't. I think it won't happen realistically before the end of the year. I don't think so. Like switching to the new Elector contract.
Great, thanks.
Okay, Pavel, did you let's talk about the KYB for Korean members, Korean validators who didn't make it.
Yeah, sure. Min, can you explain the situation, or should I do it for you?
Oh, I can do it if you want me to.
Please.
So hi, this is Min from TON Korea, and so basically there are people who are eligible for Ludi rewards, but unfortunately they didn't proceed with KYB because simply they thought they were disqualified. So the reason is that the original rule states only top 300 winners are eligible for rewards. So these people who missed their KYB, they just thought they didn't win. So after the contest was over, they simply didn't follow up with new updates for the Ludi game. And I personally think we need as many as participants involved in the validator pool, because we need to decentralize the network, and more validators means it is more decentralized. And yeah, that's pretty much sums up everything.
Okay, thanks, Min. So I guess the question is there a way to still onboard these folks? Who can answer that? Either me or Pavel.
Yeah.
I want to add one thing. So they are right. They found out about this sometime this week, like the last weekend. And I mean, if you allow this, they will finish the KYB within less than a day. So yeah, they are ready to go.
Pavel.
Yeah, I can add that technically everyone was invited for KYV. So all invitations were sent to all people who participated in contest, because we didn't actually know. The idea was that we didn't know how many people will come, because if there will be less than 300, then of course we should have been select those who came to KYV. Anyway, it's not for me to decide or suggest something. I mean, please comment this situation. What are your thoughts?
So basically, I know that with GMG, you know how like you guys made second withdrawal. I mean, you guys passed proposal to give GMG correct amount of tokens they deserve to get. So I think you can apply the same mechanics. We can make a proposal to
That's not a problem regarding mechanics. Of course, we can put it in voting. Just would like to hear thoughts of people on this call. What are your thoughts? Because we would like to hear.
My thought is we should do whatever we can to get these folks involved. That's my thought. If there's a way to do it, if there's a way to get GMG to run the KYV for them, why not?
Yeah, I agree. So I mean, I think we need to reconsider this, because right now we are looking for decentralization. That's our priority. And you know, if you have chance to involve more people into the network, I think we should and we must do it.
Well, there's 24 people on this call. Why don't we hear other voices? If somebody has something to say, please say. Oh, come on, guys.
Did I get it correctly that our Korean friends missed supplying their data for the KYV while they showed some good results in the validators game? Yeah, am I correct?
Basically,
not exactly.
Not exactly. What happened was they were originally, the way it was written was we were looking for the top 300, right? But it ended up that we got close to 400 and there was no reason to just cut it off at 300. So we ended up saying, look, you know, anybody who passes KYV, come on board. They saw the sign that said only 300. They didn't make the first 300. So they said, you know, we're not going to do it then. Why bother? And then later they realized, oh, wait a minute.
We can be a 300 plus validator and still go to KYV. I think this is yet another problem of miscommunication. We're seeing them constantly, fortunately, but I think that if the guys are ready to jump in the mainnet and ready to develop the community, the Korean community around their work, I don't see what should be wrong here. Yeah.
But these validators are not the best one. I mean, are they? And the decision about increase the number of validators was taken after the number of applied was discovered, was clear. So it's like if all 400s would apply for a KV, it means it doesn't. It could be happen that the limit will be the same, like 300. So,
well, it's 365 right now.
Yeah, but it was increased after the number of applied validators was become clear.
Well, I think Michael had a good point. It was a question of communication. They didn't know.
I mean, I know guys who applied for KIV without any chances. They also was lost and they applied anyway. They know that they will not be eligible and they applied. So they
your voice is heard. Your
Yeah.
voice has been heard. You know,
they wanted to be in and they applied.
I think that the only question is really if the validator, the Korean one, is a strong one. And the only problem is the jeopardizing of the network with centralization or maybe some weak software and hardware, but it's all up to the Korean guys. So if they think that they're okay and are ready to run it, so I don't see why not.
I mean,
they will be burning their own stake if something goes wrong.
They ran, I mean, they participate from the beginning to the end. And I think that's something that only some people could do, in my opinion.
They passed threshold. So there was a threshold. So everyone who passed the threshold was invited to KYV.
Yeah, the only problem is that they didn't understand that they need to pass KYV, and that they have any chance to. That's, I think, where miscommunication happened, and that's why they didn't apply.
But
No,
everybody was directly invited by GMG to pass the KYC. How they couldn't see this or couldn't attend the KYV? What was the reason? I do not, frankly speaking, I do not understand what was the reason for not providing documents to GMG if GMG directly asked to do this.
So there was a
ask.
language barrier between these people, and they thought only top 300, and they knew they weren't within the top 300. But this week they saw, I think, they saw the forum and they found out, oh, they were within the. But they were in the KYV table, so.
The list with all addresses means the list with all addresses was publicly available from day one, and many announcements were made there. I mean, in validator group within 3 weeks.
So I understand what you're saying, Dimitri, but I'm just saying that if we can have more people to decentralize the network, if we can, I think we should.
No, I just trying to understand the reason. Not discussing shall we or shall not. I just trying to understand why. So I understand that there is some language barrier, but again, everything was publicly available, and
sometimes people just read the text and see the words, but not the meaning. I guess that's the real problem.
If you have the list, and you see your address, you can. I think you can ask what this list means.
So as a community, next time we will try to make sure that this kind of miscommunication never happens again. And
well, actually, it's not miscommunication. Everybody think like Koreans, guys. So it was clear declared that 300 will be passed, will enter mainnet, and after discovered that validation, many more validators passed KIV, the limit was increased, so everything was clear, so they understood everything correctly. Just the point is the rules was changed at the last minute, and it was a good surprise for that guys who applied without any chances to be in mainnet.
I do not agree with this because again, the list with all participants who passed the threshold was publicly available from day one, and every week there was an announcement on all channels with this list, and this list contains of 370 or 80 people. There is no miscommunication. It wasn't the last day surprise for everybody.
No, the limit was increased in the last minute, but that everybody who passed threshold should apply it. This was clear for everybody, but the people from the last positions who took less rating did not apply it because they did no chances, or they thought that they did no chances. So this is the point, and they lose their hope, and because they didn't apply.
Changing the rules is never a good thing because it always messes things up. I guess it's this. Like if there were only 300 and Korean validator was 301, rules are the same, so they do not apply. But somewhere in the channel or whatever, there is a mentioning, or in the forum within a long thread that, okay, we are upping the number to 400. Someone can miss it easily, even if it is written 10 times. So
each participant was contacted directly by details that participants applied in the beginning of the game.
So we are not saying GMG did any miscommunication. I think it's the participants who were careless, to be honest. But what we are trying to say is that let's include them into the.
I guess they're asking for a second chance.
My personal opinion, we can ask GMG to make us a favor and to make this KYV for additional amount of application, and if these participants pass the threshold, we shall add them. It's my personal opinion.
I would agree with that. Min, how many are there?
I think 6. So there were 10 people who missed KYV, even though they are eligible for token rewards. But from the inquiries we got, I think we have 6 people who missed the KYV. Yeah, I'm not sure about other 4 people why they didn't.
Well, let's maybe you can just solidify that so that so that maybe the other 4 don't get angry.
Let's give them some grace period, like second period to participate in KYV, if possible.
Yeah. KYV. I think pretty much the consensus is at this point that we'll do something, but I think we need to just finalize and do it once and not have to do it twice. at the same time is something we don't have. I think everybody would agree with that. So maybe the quicker the better.
Yes, and everybody should have a second chance.
Not everybody, but okay. Yeah. I think just yeah, Min, if you can maybe just organize that rather quickly, I think that would be helpful.
Okay, so I will get the so I will arrange something.
We'll see we'll see what GMG says, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you know, if we can do it within the span of a day or two and not more, because we really need to push the gas.
Will
Yeah,
it affect the calculations, reward calculations that already made?
Yes, sure, but not that much significant.
Okay, well, all in favor? Aye.
Well, we will need to run it on the formal
Aye.
governance voting, I think. Anyway, right?
Sure. Put it in
Sure,
the proposal.
absolutely.
Put it in there. Okay. All right.
Yeah, Min, can you create that proposal and post it on the forum first?
Sure.
Great. Okay, moving on. Who has questions? By the way, if you have a question, the feature in Zoom is great where you can raise your hand, but you know, just reminding everybody, who has a question?
Yaron, I have one question.
There we go.
Just a small one. Today is not the day when we are going to discuss governance 2.0, but maybe we should plan it for the next time, because I think there's a lot of changes and processes, and I personally would like to understand it better. So what do you think?
Governance 2.0 and voting for next Tuesday. Noted.
Thank you.
Who else? We have lots of people here today. I'm sure there have to be a lot of questions.
I have a question, but they just can't find where to raise a hand, so I'll just start. Okay, I was toying with the idea of how the jury for sub-governance should work. Like, you know, example, we have 10 people as initial members for sub-governance, let's call it X, yeah? They decided to develop a field which is, okay, very useful for free tone, for mass adoption, etc., etc. And let's say that these 10 initial members who become jury for before the jury voting arrives. So, and these 10 people are divided in, say, 3 groups. Like there are 3 groups, 3 teams within one sub-governance.
3 teams of jurors?
No, 3 teams, like, you know, they're developing one project globally, but there are 3 teams which are developing their own project within this idea.
Okay.
Okay. So they announce a contest for the product, which means this rules, requirements, etc., etc., etc. 3 products are uploaded to the governance interface for voting. Yeah. The first question: the product is submitted by one person from a group, from a team. It should normally mean that this person is not voting in this contest at all.
I know exactly where you're going. I don't mean to cut you off, but can I?
Just a quick.
Sure.
I'll finish this one. Again, then the voting starts. One person doesn't vote, okay, but there are 2 affiliated persons from that team of that product. So they are voting, what is pretty logical, for their. Let's assume that all the products are sort of equal, not like, you know, trashy thing, good thing, and a perfect one. Let's make it an average one, yeah? So the two other people are voting for their project firsthand, yeah? And they are voting for the other projects as well, but not giving them 10s, yeah? I'm giving them like 7, like it is okay, it's more than okay, yeah? A good vote. So I think that such a mechanism breaks the idea of decentralization and voting, because again, I will invite all my team, like I have 10 people, yeah, who are developing the product, not just the spokesperson as I am, yeah. I will invite everybody into the initial members, so I will have the majority, and I will win constantly. Again, saying that our product is okay, not a trash, not a blank page.
Yeah, Mikhail, let me ask
Yeah.
first. Well, we discussed it a lot. First of all, there's a rule and there's nothing to do with it. You either a juror or you participant. So, of course, in this, as you mentioned, in real decentralized community, there is no really way to check whether some person is affiliated or not. The main, say, mechanism to not say to prevent, but to mitigate, because it's impossible to prevent. It's possible to make some, I don't know, ideal decision. The only way to mitigate it is just to make this process open. You said, okay, there are only 3 submissions. Why you said only 3? We had this discussion on landing page that you suspected that some people created the content for the contest for their needs, but we have now 60 submissions. Well, this is the answer. So just make an open contest and get a lot of submissions, and then
Okay. Let me.
May I add? May I add?
Just before we,
But
let's say they're not.
There's an easy solution to this.
Not 3 products. Okay.
Hold on. Let me
products.
say one thing.
Okay.
Let me say one thing.
Sure.
Okay. So your first contest should be a jury contest to get jurors from your entire subgovernance who want to participate in there. That's the first thing you should do. So the initial members vote for the jury. The jury comes in. The jury now is diversified, and then you launch whatever contests. That solves it.
In a case when no contests are live already. Okay, and I do agree. We spoke with you about this, that the initial members do initialize the voting for the jury, for the subgovernance, and try to make it as decentralized as possible, like, you know, to have the participant from one active team from all the teams. Okay, that's good. There is a sub question here, like, okay, I spend a lot of time on figuring out how this subgovernance X should work. Yeah. I wrote a document, I collected opinions, etc., etc. So spent lots of time. Yeah. I finalized the document, and now looking at it, I see that I'd better be a participant than a jury member, which is possible. Yeah. Like, you know, you toyed with the idea, learn the mechanism, and see that it is interesting for you to more to participate than to vote.
You can resign. That's a very
yeah. But okay, I spent a lot of time, and yet I want my reward. So I think that we should discuss the mechanism of it might be a micro reward. I always speak that it's not has to be, you know, millions, but a micro reward for the efforts for the initial jury of any subgovernance. Initial members, sorry.
Mikhail, it's a community movement still. I mean, despite the fact that tokens have value and some people would treat it as a professional or even full-time venture, but it's still community effort. It shouldn't be welfare mechanism. So
yeah,
it means that,
I agree.
I totally agree.
We shouldn't pay for everything. Just simple, transparent.
We're not taking people on payroll for
it's
everything
like communism. Spend your time, give money.
Well, it's not communism. That's communism.
No, communism something else. And
Yeah,
we can
communism
chat
something
about
else.
it
So you
longer,
go to the
not on this
factory, you
forum.
spend your time, and you get some, you get paid.
That's not communism.
Well, that's not communism.
In communism, you don't have money. That's a totally
No,
ridiculous system.
All right, let's not make this political. Basically, what you're saying is, you want to be subsidized for just participating in the network.
No, not participate, not subsidized. Again, there is always a driving person, a driving team, yeah, that makes the process work, yeah, who communicate, who formulate, who design the doc. At some point, yeah, so the time was spent really, yeah. So you can do nothing.
You know how much time I spend? I don't get paid for it.
I perfectly know that. Perfectly know that.
It's very simple. It's very simple. I mean, if you say that there is some dedicated person, then who should decide it? That's the main question. We should not even try to establish structures where somebody should be appointed by a decision for whomever. That's the main problem. But people who create proposals, juries rewarded by fees which are set up in proposal. Guys who initiate proposals, they can set some fee in the proposal, and it should be part of the proposal. So I will get that fee if you accept my proposal. That's very simple.
That's really the point.
I don't think they should actually. Like, I believe that in the main reason why people are doing, apart from altruistic behavior, we're not talking about that, is that you should hodl some tons, and then if you provide value to the network will grow, and the value of tons will grow accordingly, right? So it's in your interest. You already have a vested interest in ton development just by holding that, and that is what proof of stake really means. Actually, it provides security and also incentives just by holding tokens. So if you hold some tokens and do something, then you increase the value of it, right?
Okay.
Nice try, though. Good sales approach. I respect it.
I worked on the landing contest
I get it, man.
For a long
get
time.
It.
Yeah, we communicated a lot with you, with Pasha, and with other team members. I am personally not sure that we will take the first prize or even any prize. It's okay with me. It's not for me to decide. But yet, lots of time invested. Okay, I agree with me that holding TON is a good idea. Okay, but that's another subject.
Excellent idea.
It's an excellent idea, but it's another subject in any case.
Well, the value is reflected in the end by economic means, by the game theory, by everything, by economic theory, by the Austrian theory. The value will be reflected in the price in the long run, right? So it's actually like we're talking about the economics, right?
Let's not talk about price. Let's talk about simple things. The idea is that nobody forced people who participated in that discussion, landing discussion, to do this. It was a voluntary movement of people. That's the right way to do it. Of course, at some point you can win contest and get reward. In other circumstances you will not win, and at some activity you do it for free. But there should not be direct timer money correlation.
All right. I think it's clear. Yeah, I think it's clear.
Another question that I have on a different matter: listings. This week we saw a listing on the Korean CoinNeil exchange. The members of the community are starting to talk with different exchanges about listing of the TON crystal.
Michael, I really think we do not need to discuss that in
I agree.
any official community channel. We cannot be engaged as a community, as a governance, in no way or form with any coordination of any listing of any tokens on any exchange, period.
I agree.
So no.
We have no position whatsoever.
I got today, like, I don't know, 50 chats.
Yeah, I got
all
like
kinds of
20
listing.
something.
And
Yep.
and I can read you what I write to them back, because I'm
Submit your
fucking
proposal.
polite.
Submit
No,
your proposal on the forum.
Like,
no.
we're not discussing listings with anyone. The project is run by a decentralized community. You can go to the forum and post whatever you want there. If there is anything community would need to know, but that will be more or less like posting on Bitcoin forum that you want to list Bitcoin.
That's it. That's what I write.
Would you do that?
I can read one right now. I said Freeton is a decentralized community, not unlike Bitcoin. There are no decision makers, and Freeton does not and cannot go and list themselves. We do not pursue listings. What exchanges do on their own is their business. Hope you understand. Thank you. Goodbye.
Whoa. No, I totally agree with the point. Maybe it's a point of discussion for another call, just to...
It's not a point of discussion.
No. A point of discussion. What would be better for the network listing now? Or
it's not up to the network. Somebody else needs to say.
I perfectly understand the mechanism. I'm just not understanding it for myself. Should I go and try to list the token now, or should I wait for, like when staking
and that's a discussion you have to make with yourself.
Yeah, okay, no problem. Thank you. I personally like to talk with a wise person, which I am. Thank you.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
You got it, man. All right, who else has a question?
Actually, hello everyone again.
Hi, Paulina.
And just in recent days, I have seen the growth of the community, and it's very encouraging. So there are many activities going on, and I was invited to join SMM team to help with moderation. And at the same time, I'm still planning to develop Canadian community. And I would like to ask, is there any PR planned for the nearest future?
Oh, yes. There is. There is a developing PR community. I don't know if you joined that or not, but I think, did I not send you that link?
There are sub-governments?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I joined. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not a sub-governance yet. There needs to be some more structure there. It needs to be a little further developed before it actually becomes a PR sub-governance. But what I'm seeing, this is just from me. That's going to be good. It's going to be very strong. Plus, we have a very good guy there, Anatoly Fat Tony, right? He runs Forklog, so he knows quite a bit about PR. So yeah, that's going to be the driving force behind PR.
Okay, but there is no information yet there.
It's still developing. It's still developing.
Okay, I'll be waiting for that. Thank you. And one more question. I have learned the ambassador program, and I have realized that it was not really suitable for me. And that's why I'd like to know if I could suggest my own program and how I may do that. And I saw that there are really a lot of suggestions at the forum, but not all of them go to the vote.
Okay. Well, again, are you talking about contest?
That's the problem which Governments 2.0 will solve. One of the things that there are some suggestions, are some very good suggestions, which are never kind of developed to the point where it goes to the voting. And I think you should still try. And please also, join the testing. And this is like I'm doing some advertising. Please join the testing of the Governance 2.0 platform, all of you guys. It will help tremendously to advance that. But anyway, so yeah, please do the proposal and then please promote it and inside the community.
Yeah, I think yes. I think it needs to be, in other words, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, so to speak. So just ping members, let everybody know, look, this is happening, write a comment, give us your thoughts, because it really does just come down to hype, right? If it's hyped up and it's a good idea and the community likes it, that's it. It should go to a vote. I agree. But right now it's all being done to whatever extent quasi-manually, right? I mean, the community certainly has their voice, but then until they get the attention of somebody who goes and grabs somebody else and grabs somebody else, and yeah, it's a poor system, but it's the only one we have at the moment. So, yeah.
Ron, can I just jump in on the PR point
Thank
for a
you.
second? Yeah, Paulina, actually stay with me if I can add also modest thoughts. First of all, let's not wait for magic from Anatoly Kaplan, who is obviously a very capable person, but his role is just to purely coordinate some of the activities, given that he probably understands like more than some of the other people, like myself, for example, about PR. But recall, we are a decentralized community, and everybody can contribute without waiting for any coordination. Should contribute, I would say. There is somebody shooting a film about free TON, from what I know. Let's say I saw Ivan writing that he wants to interview Fedor on Kambot partnership. Let's say somebody is passionate about the World Chess Partnership. Why not write an article on that and post somewhere, etc., etc. We shouldn't wait for any, again, centralized style management.
That's also
we
true.
all contribute every day. If you're asked for a podcast in Canada, just do it. If you can post something in Canada, just do it. So the more of decentralized effort there is, I think the better network will be. That's my 5 cents on the subject.
Yeah. In other words, you can take control. You can take it into your own hands.
Okay, thank you very much.
Anatoly is working on the PR strategy, like say mini version. I'm adding some comments there as well. So when it forms a bit, I think that he will publish it for discussion, for commenting, etc.
Excellent. I think Fedor had a question.
No, I've already posted in chat my proposal to Paulina.
Okay. All right, great. Okay, moving on. Who has a question? Who's got another question? Come on.
What's up with Mitya's camera?
Oh my God.
Again, this is like the third time. He doesn't want to show his boxes and his junk behind him.
Yes,
That's what's
yes.
He's just looking forward for some tons. Just tip him somebody to buy a camera.
I do have an excellent camera. I don't need another camera, please. No, it's just my background is horrible.
I have one more question. Actually, I'm planning to introduce podcasts in my blog, and I'd like to ask Alexander Filatov to, if I can take an interview with him. Is it possible or not?
Of course it's possible.
It will be very
You can invite anybody. It's gonna cost you a lot. I'm just kidding, of course.
Okay,
I would
thank
be
you.
happy to participate. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Great. It's awesome. Okay. I guess if nobody has anything else, we can skip over to YouTube. We have a question from Rupert Anderson. What kind of consensus is used by TON? Does TON have a plan to be a public chain? We are a public chain. Is TON different with the native chain like Bitcoin chain, Ethereum chain, et cetera? No, we're not. Well, I mean, we're different in that we're faster and we have more capabilities, but basically the premise is the same. It's completely permissionless and public, completely decentralized. But what I don't know what you mean by consensus. Do you mean consensus as in tech speak, or do you mean consensus as in how decisions are made? Decisions are made 100% by a community. All right.
Probably that was about technical consensus, but it's a long story. It's dynamic sharding, and I mean, you can read it at ton.dev, but it's a long story to discuss here.
Okay, then we have same gentleman asks, I have seen the Chinese TON community. Well, somebody answered it already. Yeah, it's if you're talking about what I think you're talking about, the Chinese TON community. If you're talking about the Chinese free TON community on free TON, that's our one of our communities, of course. If you're talking about the one that got it's just a scam. It's just an ICO scam. Stay away.
Yes, and recently the Twitter was banned.
Oh yeah, Twitter. Yeah, Twitter banned him, by the way. Anyway, well, I mean, but that doesn't really say much. Twitter bans everybody, but but yeah, it's a scam. What else do we have? When TON CLI with DBot will be published?
When what?
When does TON OS CLI with the DBot get published?
It's open source, right? What debug do you want? Maybe I misunderstand.
Maybe
It's about
the question was what?
the pool. Yeah, the pool debot. I think
He
question about the pool
okay, he
debot.
needs DPool DBot.
That's a different story.
Yes.
Ludi debot is done. It's in testing now, and it will be published by the end of the week.
There you go. Ashutosh Nandan asks, hi there, is the free TON, regarding the free TON blog proposal on SMM subgovernance, right? Yeah, which is already passed, but not in SMM. So the answer is this, the individual,
Wait, let me take
go
that.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Because you asked me, I did some pushing.
And thank you, by the way. Yes.
So the Zhenya will do that. They will set up the contest. The man inside TON Labs who is responsible for the contest, Boris Ivanovsky, is ill currently, unfortunately, and so he cannot do some stuff that he was planning to do for the contest contract deployment on chain, and so they waited for him, but I asked Zhenya to use the old kind of process, so she said she will do that. So you should talk to her directly, and Ron can coordinate that and ask her.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm at Ron Millow, at RONMILLOW on Telegram. Just hit me up direct, and I'll handle it.
Okay. I have a question. I even raised hand. May I?
Yeah, go, of course.
When are we planning to see staking? Because the time frame is pretty flexible regarding the launch of validators into the mainnet. This is connected with staking directly, as I see it. So any dates, updates, or whatever.
Sure.
Because again, staking is essential, in my opinion, as one of the first steps for driving people into free TON. Because staking is very understandable. You stake 100 coins and you receive per each cycle some other coins. Thank you.
Yeah, I think you're kind of mixing two questions in one, but I'll answer both. So first of all, the Magister Ludi DPool staking is going to be, that's connected to the question about DPool the bot, which will going to be published this week. And that means that we will be ready technically to start distribution this week. We're only waiting for Provenda to provide the second stage of formal verification report to us. And once it's done, and if there are no issues in the contract discovered over next couple of days, we will be starting distribution of the Magister Ludi, as was stated before. That's why I didn't update, because the same status. So hopefully that will happen this week. If not, then beginning next week. And once it's done, it will be portions, of course, as I think there is on the forum. Once it's done, then these DPools, anyone can stake their tokens into these DPools, because they will be open public DPools. Anyone can use them. And you choose your validator, which runs which DPool. and we have an interesting dynamics there. We will see, because there's a lot of hidden interesting questions about that, how people will deploy the pools, what the kind of percentage they would set up there, and there's
Your
dynamics that
microphone.
we're waiting for.
Okay, your microphone. Okay, that's.
So you mean that, say, in a week's time, 7 to 10 days, I will be able to stake some of my tons, right?
Yep.
And how will it be, a mind-blowing thing to understand how to stake, or I could open surf, pick a deep pool of the validator I know and trust, and send the coins, or have to code something with my eyes bleeding and my brain exploding?
First of all, if you code something with your eye bleedings, they should go to the doctor. Don't code. And
this is why I don't.
Good. Well, surf. It's all question of the bots. So the depool, we already wrote the depool debot. So that we will make it public. The depool debot will be deployed on the mainnet, and everyone can use it. Now, of course, the way to use it currently, which is available, is through TON OS CLI. You don't need to code anything, but it's a tool which is CLI. And
Not
then,
for regular users, yeah.
Yeah, well, actually, anyone can use it. I mean, it's easy if you have, like, anyway. You definitely can use it. It's not a rocket science at all. You don't need to be a programmer to do that. And with the bots, it's really easy. Like it's basically like a chat bot, just in CLI form. And the surf will. We don't have Zhenya on the call.
No, it seems not.
Yeah, well, the surf will support the bots quite soon, hopefully. And then once it does, then you can do what you said. You can just open surf, open the bot for any depool, and just use this.
This is a very important question of usability of this mechanism, because
Agreed.
As we spoke about the PR, about traffic, about launching the proper landing for free TON, if we drive people and tell them that, okay, here is the tool, first of all, you have to compile it from sticks and stones to create.
Michael, I totally get the point. Yeah. You're totally right. I totally agree with you. But remember, we are only 6 months old, and all things just cannot happen in one day. It's just impossible. Also, we need to think first that people won't lose their money once they stake, and that's kind of the first thing, right? Because that would be really bad. You'd have a really easy tool to lose all your money. So everything should come in its own order, right? And I think it's quite good timing. Everything will be fine.
So let's say that in 10 days, one should be able to stake through the CLI interface.
Yep.
And in how many days approximately?
Won't give you approximation. No, we're not doing that. Not doing that.
No, you're trying to nail down a time so that.
Wondering how much time is it needed to implement it into Surf? That's it.
It takes some time. It will be quite soon, but I won't give you the dates. We're not giving the dates.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we have a couple more questions on YouTube. A. Rakib says, how does TON choose companies for cooperation in the future? TON doesn't, the community, the free TON community chooses them. And you can go to forum.freeton.org and you can actually see all the proposals that are being put up and voted on and so on and so forth. What are the benefits? The benefits growing the community and adoption, of course. Currently attracting users and mass adoption is a problem for blockchain projects. How will TON solve this problem? We are solving this problem. We have 12 network partners now that have very clearly defined KPIs. certain amount of, I actually covered this at the beginning of this, stream. If you came a little late, maybe you'll be able to go back. I think maybe 20 or 30 minutes after we're finished, you'll be able to look from the beginning, but I pretty much laid out some of the milestones that we just covered. But essentially, proposals are brought to the community by companies that have lots of users and who want to integrate. They make their proposal on the platform that I just mentioned to you. The community votes for it. It gets accepted. They get their tons. We get the users. It's quite simple. It's all laid out. Next, he asks, can you tell me how do you...
Ron, sorry, Hector raised hand.
He's raising hands for...
Oh, sorry. I apologize, Hector. Sorry. Go ahead.
Hello, Ron. How's it going?
Buenos
and
dias.
hello to everyone. Well, buenos dias, Ron. This is not exactly a question. It's more like a mention, or probably how do I put it this way? An announcement on the community and how has it been going forward lately this week. I don't know if you remember last week, last week we were
I do.
talking of things I could do.
I've been watching it grow. Yeah,
I'm
man.
happy you see that. So right now, first of all, we're not alone. I mean, last time it was just me and Miguel, I guess. Today it's Miguel, Daniel, and me. We're part of the Mexican community, the team. And there was another member, which is also really important. It's called Esther, but she wasn't able to make it on time, I believe. But she will also be helping us. Esther will be sort of like head of in charge basically of helping us with the translations, because as you might see, translating in some other languages and some other communities probably gives us a hard time. So she will be in charge of doing it for now. Also,
Awesome.
Today, later on, maybe you can check it out, the forum will be launched on our website. So that's another thing we've added to the list.
Now we're moving.
Done.
Now we're
Yeah,
we're rocking and rolling. Good. Okay.
And it's going pretty well. And well, we're working on the memorandum. I think it will be soon finished, ready to be signed up. And
okay.
Well, what else? Working also on the decentralized apps, the services, and trying to grow the community for now. So we're happy to contribute and hope this is looking well.
Yeah, it is, man. That's awesome. Look, that's excellent. Just structure it right. We now have so many examples that you can draw from, and just structure it and run it by several members of other communities and let them look at it and say, tweak this, fix that, eliminate this, add that, get it ready and get it on the forum, and that's it, man. Okay, excellent.
All right.
Great
Perfect.
To hear. Excellent.
Okay.
We need it. So yeah.
Okay, well, we'll be moving forward. We will. I will
Great
let
job.
you know next week what we did, but we'll keep going with the good work.
Thanks, Hector. You don't need to let me know. I'm just let everybody know.
I'm letting you know, and as I let you know, everyone else, hears it.
Excellent,
right
man.
So that's good.
All right.
Thanks,
good
Ron.
deal. You got it, man. All right. Let's see. Rakib also asks, can you tell me how do you plan on getting TON adoption increase, and how do you generate revenue from your platform? The adoption I just explained. There's contests, there's partnership proposals. If you have something, go to forum.freeton.org and propose it. And you can see all the different examples. I mean, it's just a couple 20, 30 minutes of just browsing, and you'll understand. And if you have any questions, there's literally several thousand people that you can ask. Go to the main website, freeton.org, and look at any of the communities, click on one, you'll become a part of it, and just ask. People will answer you. In fact, I think you'll probably get more answers than you wanted. As far as how do you generate revenue? Who's we? When you say you, this is as decentralized, it's no different than Bitcoin, except for the fact that it's it's free ton and it does a lot more stuff. It's all there's no revenue generation. It's just about distributing the token, getting it circulated, and getting adoption, and then normally through natural processes, not I'll just say natural processes, the price of the token will rise, and that's it. Who's generating revenue? It's not about revenue. All right. Free Tunaran Midiak asks, sorry guys, I did not get the answer to my questions, and asks, Iranian users still do not have access to Free Ton site without a VPN. How can this problem be solved, and what can I do to help? I'm happy to do anything. Look, I mean, this is not something that's solvable without full decentralization. I mean, unfortunately, it's nothing we can solve. It's just, it's geopolitical, you know, unfortunately. So once full decentralization is achieved, no one can stop anyone from doing anything. I hope I answered that as well as I could. Sorry.
So sorry, Ron, I missed. Is it access to website? I don't think that access to website will.
He says, yeah, he says he doesn't have, he can't visit Free Ton without a VPN.
Yeah, it's weird.
That is weird.
What region is it? What region is it?
Iran.
Ah, okay.
Oh, okay. That makes it, yeah.
That makes sense.
But I think that this relation of Freeton will not help, at least at this point.
Well, yeah.
I think you should talk to your government.
Mita.
Yeah, stop it, please. It's not much.
Mita always has to do something like that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I feel for you, but I don't know what to say. I'm at a loss for words. I don't think I'm ever at a loss for words, but I am. I just think it sucks, and that's all I can say. Okay. I don't see any more YouTube questions for now. We have a couple, 4 that came in from people who couldn't join us that wrote it in. First question is, my understanding is TON Labs has committed to complete development of the original Durov specification. Is this correct? Well, it's not just TON Labs. It's
a whole community.
Yeah, it's the whole community. It's not TON Labs. I mean, yeah, we did, you know, the debugging and wrote some code for TON when it was the old TON. 2.5 million lines of it. Okay. But now it's a community thing. TON Labs is just, you know, it's just one of many contributors. 2, does this include all proposed components of TON platform, DNS, payment, storage, proxy services? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But
it includes way more than the original proposal. And you should follow it on the forum. And actually, I wrote a post about the roadmap. You can go on the forum and read it. There's all there.
There you go. What are the current priorities for development, in parentheses, any development category, not only platform? What are the current priorities for development? Again, that's all on the website.
It's on the forum, and there are also sub-governance and developer sub-governance forming now. You can join if you're a developer. There are many activities like a distributed database, for example, and some platform access distributed like E2ED concept you may also get familiar with, which is you know, part of Free Ton you know, concept. So yeah, please read it.
Yeah, that's exactly where that's going in terms of DNS storage and everything else is end-to-end decentralization. And it's, yeah, just browse all the websites, browse all the pages. It all the answers to your questions are pretty much there. 100% there. Can an updated estimate of when the Rust validator and above platform components will be available? Non-commitment, only requesting current best estimate. So in other words, he's asking first when the Rust validator is going to be ready and when all of the other stuff, DNS, payment, storage, and all the other proxies, services, when's that going to be ready? I mean, it's all in stages. It's going to take a little while, but I'll let Mita answer in more detail.
When everything will be ready?
Yeah. Maybe just lay out the stages.
At the end of all times.
Oh.
I don't know. So as I just started, actually, there are many components that are already ready. There's some components already open sourced and running. There are some components which are just coming now, like the Rust validator is, as I said, just in the beginning of the stream. You can rewatch, and And then there will be additional components which are developed either by different sub-governance communities, whatever, and they will be ready whenever like the roadmaps of this sub-governance is there. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of code, it's a lot of effort required to do that, and it cannot be done just in one day. It's a process. It will take years to develop everything. And also there are things that are just unknown. Like there are many things that are just in reality are very different from the white paper that that Nikolai wrote, and these things will change. And a lot of this white paper will change in reality and will be constantly changing. That's what living organism is, right? So you use it, and then suddenly you discover something and you want to change it. It's an agile process. It will take years to do.
So there you go. Look, we do have a couple more YouTube questions that came in, or one. Push the members of the jury to vote on the landing design contest because a week of sleepless nights feels wasted. Listen, no, just so you know, okay, all right. We didn't want to have a jury discussion, but I'll address this question. So first of all, change is coming. Okay, we're working on it right now. Roman, reminder, right? We're working on it right now. Yeah. Second of all, a lot of times, just like when submissions for contests come at the very last minute, so do the votes. Because just this last contest for essays, I mean, it was extremely difficult. I mean, basically everybody had to read 2 books, and then not only read the 2 books, but understand every chapter and then go back and evaluate every single one. And I'm not going to say that everybody did a fine, fantastic job, but that's not for me to say. It's difficult. It's not that easy. There are I think 61, I believe, submissions for the landing.
70 submissions.
No, 70 was for the essay.
For essay, yeah.
Essay, right. 61, I believe, if don't quote me, for the landing page. And again, so that's 61 variations with people having to look, analyze 61, remember as many as possible, then go back, create a sheet. That's what most jury members do. They create a spreadsheet and sort of adjust their votes based on every new submission that they look at. It takes time. So when it says 10 days for voting, don't expect that on day 3, you're going to see like a whole bunch of votes. At the same time, there is a point, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, the jury needs to get off their behinds and vote. And absolutely, I absolutely applaud the jurors who do vote and who do take the time. And, I watch it on a consistent basis. And there are just some guys and gals that are, you're fantastic. But there are some people that, for all intents and purposes, don't give a shit, and that's just the reality of it. And I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do about it. You can't beat them over the head. The only thing we can do is get rid of them, and we will. So
now I remember what I wanted to talk about. No, I'm not.
Well,
I'm not going to do that.
We're running over time today.
I spent 8 hours reading, because that was the first time I actually did the jury, because Ron asked me, because there are, some English, because it's essays and Ron asked me
to do that. Evaluate it. He didn't.
So I have voted for TON Labs, and it took me 8 hours straight on Saturday, Friday, whatever. I read all of it, 70 essays. And first of all, I mean, I'm blown away. That's really amazing job. There are some essays there that's just blown away. Really great. But it's a very hard work. It really takes a lot of time if you want to get a quality vote. Because if you have 70 submissions, you cannot just read 35 and then 35 read so, because that will be really unjust, right? You need to read everyone.
It's disrespectful.
You need to read everyone with the same attention and provide like the score, and also the commentary. You need to invest in commentary because you really want to you explain your score. And sometimes it's also hard work. It's hard sometimes to explain your vote, right?
Yeah, it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
Well, I know who posted a comment to my work to look at Wikipedia, the definition of.
Okay, Michael, come on. All right, just come on, stop.
Gotcha.
Yes,
I know,
it was me, Michael.
I knew he
it
was gonna
was
say
me.
something.
Don't take it personally, please. But it
Okay,
wasn't as
now I totally get the point.
I know. And that's one of the things actually you need to do as a jury, because you need to develop your own kind of criteria. Like I said, it's in the contest, it says essay, and I will judge it as an English essay. Essay has a meaning. And that was criteria I put. I wanted to see some literature. I didn't want to see marketing brochures. And so, I definitely didn't vote
Let's
on the marketing
Okay, no, it's absolutely no problem. Just, okay.
Okay, can we just
Sorry,
can we move
Michael.
past-
Sorry.
No problem.
Can we just move past this, please? And by the way, it's also a very bad idea to dox jurors. So let's not even do that. So yeah, okay. Thank you for your question. His name is Did Okay. Thank you for your question, Did Okay. Any more questions from the participants? We have none. No more that have been written in, and we have no more in YouTube. So unless somebody has a question, I think we can wrap up.
Ron,
Speak.
from me. What say about the administrative subgovernance? Who is best equipped to answer that one? Because I think now that we have 12 partnerships and so many subgovernance, somebody should kind of start doing monitoring and taking a look that all the network tokens are being, effectively spent, and the value is coming back to the network.
Administrative subgovernance, the idea behind it is formed. So it's there. It's being developed right now and structured. As far as I understand, the guys there and the gals are very motivated. We should have something, I hope, this week.
May I add some words?
Go for it.
Yeah. We actually created a proposal for this subgovernance. There will be included such activities as translation, partnership analytics, contest stats and reports, documents workflow, subgovernance effectiveness, yes. Thank you. Yeah, and main community chart support,
Yeah, we got a couple of guys in there that are really good with analytics. And
yeah, please post under this video some links, because I want to read this proposal, because I have some.
Yeah, hang on.
Think about it. It's one of the dangerous things. We don't want to turn into foundation with that. So we need to really limit the power of any administrative subgovernance we have. Okay, it needs to be really just an administrative work. Not any decision making should be done on that level.
No, of course not. It's just
yeah. So we need to be very careful with that.
Stats, results, reports,
analytics.
Exactly.
I don't have a link to it, but
I'll send it already.
Oh, you did? Okay, thank you. Yeah, I don't have access. I'm a minority citizen there. All right. Okay. Everybody, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for participating. Please remember, every Tuesday, same time, and we'll see you then. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Byron.
Cheers.
Bye.